here at the Bartlett School of Architecture at UCL, and what's going on until the 6th of July is the Bartlett Exhibition, and it is perhaps one of the most amazing exhibitions I have ever seen. Perhaps the main reason being is that, unlike art, there's a lot of limitations that architecture students face when making whatever designs they put up for display. So when looking at it, it's not just awesome to look at, it's perhaps really interesting to understand the thoughts that went behind it, especially from the fact that it came from students rather than fully fledged artists and architects. One of the more interesting parts was the finer details, such as the 3D printing and the clay printing, which I felt was perhaps really ingenious in terms of detail and the attention to detail with different people on the sculptures that were made. Not to mention the design art, the digital design made by VR and the 3D rendering for more interesting designs that were done on computer.
Well, architecture is not really just an art. I would say the limitation is it kind of has to respond to certain real conditions that exist and take into account a lot of existing factors, environmental, social, physical. So I guess it's just much more to think about than when you're just making an art piece, because the art piece can be just like an expression of your own thoughts or your own feelings or whatever. And in architecture, you need to be more focused on those factors and put them together, and not be so much focused on what you want to create, but what's needed. So the project was. So we have two projects during the year. One is more of a research project that kind of sets the direction for the building project, which is the second one. And it should be kind of one big piece of work, which is divided into those two kind of stages. So the project for the exhibition is kind of a mixture of those two. So first project, which is more of the research project, and the building project. And in the research project, my studio we looked at rain and marshes and calibration. So we were trying to find some interesting aspects of the site, measure it, and then create a device or technique or something that would calibrate those towards just one aspect of the site, or just using those measurements, or how to measure it better. So a lot of people created devices to measure and then calibrate those aspects of the site. And then in the building project, we tried to use those measurements or those anything that we have observed during the experiments to design the building, which is more precisely calibrated for the site. So it kind of responds to a certain condition of the site. So that was the project that we're, the kind of two projects that we're exhibiting now. Yeah. I guess we're not really, the design is not really based on the aesthetic aesthetic or anything like that. I mean, okay, everyone's got their own aesthetic, but there is a range of different, every person's got their own kind of, aesthetic and design style, and also like a drawing style, model style. So it depends on the person. What we are trying to use, I think, is new technologies that are available. So I think we're more focused on the site and using those technologies, like, for example, I don't know, photogrammetry, like scanning, 3D printing, sensing, a lot of different things combined together to fit the building for its purpose and for its site, and not that much to reflect what's going on in the architecture. Obviously, we're using some references, so I guess maybe in a way it reflects those trends from the references we use. But again, it's very personal, I think, and especially at the Bartlett, depending on what studio you're in. Each studio has a different approach, and the projects are really different. Some are very dreamy, magical, and kind of unbuildable, and some are really structural based and or material based, environmentally friendly. But I wouldn't say it reflects that much. I don't know. The trends in architecture because it's more the mixture of different references, not only the new ones.